Tiger, come here. Don't!
Oh, get off! Get off! Whoa, that hurt.
Loser.